Alright guys, I finally got the electronics. So my awesome TD2 is ready to go. So we're going to take it outside and we're going to test it out. After that, I will review it, tell you what I think about this awesome car. But first, let's take a look inside and see what I installed. Alright, let's take a look inside our car and see what I have put in there. So I won't lie, it was a little bit difficult getting all the wires to fit. There's not a lot of space under this shell. It's pretty flat back here and a lot of wires gotta go back to the brushless motor. So pull off the shell and we'll take a look inside. So I've done a couple things actually besides just electronics. So one thing I did, and you may notice this, I've lowered the front. So now the chassis does hit the ground. I don't think it'll happen very often, but the wheels can rise higher than the chassis. So what I had to do, because these are longer, I put in the limiter inside. There's two sets of screws that the shocks attach to, that the top's attached to. There's a forward set and a back set. So I moved that to the back set. Also on the front of the shocks, I put in the shorter connector here. So this isn't as long as the kit one. So I put on the shorter connector and I moved the shock back, and that meant that this wasn't extended so far out. So the whole thing has been moved back. It actually has more travel now. And another thing I did was at the front you have these cantilever suspension arms, these things here with the purple on it, and in the kit they have a plastic piece in there, and they have two of them, but I put in these aluminum purple ones. I took one out, so I made that link one piece shorter, so that's shorter now. So the front actually sits quite a bit lower, so that's good. It was awfully high before. Now I can put my hand under. On the back, I also, because these shocks are a little bit longer than the kit ones that come on, I also put the shorter ends on the bottom of those shocks as well. So it bring the chassis a little bit lower. And I think I've done one other thing to the car, is I've put on this upgrade where you can set the tow characteristics. Okay, I have put this TBLM02S motor in. So we're running 10.5. This is the Tamiya one, and I did it specifically because of the end bell and how the wires come out. So if we look, we'll see there's not a lot of room in there. And if you install a normal motor where they're all set in the top, you gotta cut the actual chassis up here at the front. So I didn't want to do that. So I got the Tamiya motor, and there it is sitting in there. And I just connected it. This is soldered here. I just connected it to my Hobbywing ESC, which we get in there. So what I'm running for a Hobbywing ESC is this one. It is an XR10 Pro stock spec, 80 amp, and it's tiny. So we look at it in there, you'll see it's a tiny little ESC all snuggled in there. So we get it all connected, and I'm running my Futaba radio with it. So I get the receiver up here. It was hard to put in all these wires, but I think it fits. To put the battery in, just flip the car around. To put the battery in, you can't put it in with normal standing posts. They have to be posts that are flat to the sides because the body won't go down. if they're standing up. Now all the wires fit. All we gotta do is take it out and drive it. So that's what we're gonna do. Batteries are charged, radio's ready. Let's go see how this car actually drives. Oh, one more thing I didn't say before. I put a different pinion in. I think the kit comes with a 17 tooth pinion. I put in a 20. So the pinion's slightly bigger. And that's about it for the differences to the car. I drove it around the house and it was really fun in the house. So let's take it outside and see how it works out there. Maiden voyage. Let's see how this thing works. Now it's two-wheel drive, so I imagine it might spin a little bit. Yeah. I find it's amazing that it can drive up and down this stuff.
Wow, it's so easy to control.
Yeah, until you do that. Oops. I forgot to hit record. That way you don't use up all your memory.
Oh goddamn, I should get a TD2 and paint it like a grasshopper.
Nice.
That's great.
That was nice. Well, that was fun. Where I am, there's not really a track for it, but it worked well. So what do I think of this awesome car? Well, it lives up to its tag. It lives up to the title of awesome. This car is much better than I expected. Tamiya really hit it out of the park with this. Some things that impress me is how controllable it is. For a two-wheel drive car, this is packing a 10.5 turn motor. It is quite a bit of power. And it performed very, very well. You can send this car wherever you want. I really thought these tires were terrible and the front tires are terrible. I didn't think it'd steer very well, but it does. It steers much better than I thought it would. You'll notice my poor car is missing its fender. This one is almost off. So these, though they look cool, I think I'll leave them on the back because they do kind of keep some mud off the car, but the front ones, every time you flip, it hooks them. Or if you go into some bushes or something, it hooks underneath. So there's the one that came off. I won't be putting those back on. Well, I can't put that one back on. It did look pretty cool. It's nice on the box, but that's done. So, what do I think of the car? Awesome. Get these shocks. I think they're a good upgrade. You can get the aeration ones if you have a lot of money to spend, but honestly, these DFO3 ones, they're fine. I like the OMG servo. The ESC held up really well. Yeah, this car is definitely worth picking up. As far as damage, like, I drive these things hard. We don't have a track. We did try a few little jumps here and there. It does seem to jump quite well. There's a carpet track in Shanghai, but because of the constant lockdowns, it is not open. And my carpet tires, I ordered a set of Schumacher tires. They have not arrived. Many things have not arrived. So hopefully they'll show up. I do have some other wheels that would be better on carpet anyway I can put on. As far as any damage or anything to the car, there's a few. You can see there's a few scrapes. That's to be expected. These front arms, because I was driving over the concrete curbs and stuff and things it's not really made for, did scrape the backs on these arms. So you can see there are quite a few scrape marks and on the front bumper. But nothing too major, nothing structural, nothing broke. I have the slipper clutch installed. I said that in my first video. I think I may tighten it up a little bit. It did seem to whine a little too much, so I don't want that to get all nice and smooth because then it won't work at all. The body has a little bit of damage. My beautiful, beautiful body. So when you flip it on its roof, it lands on its roof. So there are a few scrapes in the top of this bulbous cockpit. I think it'd be better if you do one of these to do what I did and put some tint on it, because it doesn't really, you can't see it very easily with the tint. I think it'd show up more if it was clear. On the front hole, I did manage to crack the shell. So you can see there's a little damage there. I'm a little sad about that. I'm going to try bend it back and put some Gorilla Tape or something behind that, so that tear doesn't continue, because I love this body. It looks so good out in the sun today. I can't wait to get this thing to a track. I think next time it'll be indoors. But it performs really, really well. Definitely worth racing. This car is definitely worth racing. The front suspension lowered down, it handled everything no problem. There is some squeaks in it now. You hear that? And same in the back. So it sounds like your upstairs neighbors are having a good time. I think that's just on the ends of the rods that hold on the arms. I think that's in the plastic. I do have some balls that are metal. I may put those on and get rid of the squeak. That may work. As for this front steering system and suspension system, I may upgrade it. I find this all to be a little bit weak, the plastic. I may do the upgrades, put some more blue on it. I don't think it's necessary though. Amazing car. Really happy I picked this up. Now I got to build the Optima Mid. I think this will definitely, even though it's 2-wheel drive and the Optima Mid is 4-wheel drive, I'm predicting that this will actually outperform, which it should. It's a 2022 car. And the Optima Mid is quite old, 80s. So, quite a few years ago. Alright guys, that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time.
What's that noise?
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's shaking.